I'm from the Student Accounts Office. My name is Lauren. Student Accounts is part of finance, but it's the part that deals specifically with student accounts becoming fees arranged. It's the most important concept that you're going to need to know about your student account, and it ripples out into other areas of your involvement at the university. When you enroll in courses, you are not a fully registered student. You are enrolled. It means you've chosen some courses, but you're not actually a registered student yet. Your registered status on Quest has to change to fees arranged for you to actually be a registered student. Being fees arranged means that you have demonstrated to us how you're going to cover all the fees that have been charged to your account for that term. You need to be fees arranged each and every term. You don't fees arrange yourself once for the whole time you're at school or even for this term and next term. You're going to have two choices. There are two ways to become fees arranged. One is pay your fees in full, and that obviously demonstrates that how you're going to pay your fees because you've already done it. The other way is to use a promissory note if you have other funding that's going to contribute to paying your fees. For instance, scholarships, bursaries, OSAP, that sort of thing. And so we'll be talking about that a little bit more detail in a minute. It's important to be fees arranged because being fees arranged is what's going to allow us to put the scholarship and bursary funding on your student account to help pay your fees, because it won't happen automatically, and it won't happen if you're not fees arranged, even if you can see it showing as anticipated aid and it came on your offer letter. Also, OSAP, or whatever province you're from, the student loans that you have qualified for from your government will not be sent out to you if you're not fees arranged. Your access to online learning on the Learn system will be impacted by not being fees arranged. And sometimes you can't even play varsity sports if you're not fees arranged. So it's really an important concept involved in all parts of your time at the university. If you decide that the way you want to become fees arranged is to pay your fees in full, here's how you do it. There are some acceptable ways and some not so acceptable ways. The acceptable ways, and actually the very best way, is by bank payment. You can do it at your bank, using a teller, using online banking. Either way is fine. It's really simple. You add University of Waterloo as a bill payment, the same way you would pay your phone bill or your hydro bill, and then you use your student ID number as the account number that you're paying. It's fast to do, it's cheap to do, it's efficient and secure to do, and you will see that payment show up 2 to 3 business days later on your Quest account. So you would log back into Quest, go to Finances, click on your account for that term, and you should see your payment within that time. If you can't do that, another option is a certified check, a money order, or a bank draft from a Canadian bank only. Make sure if you send paper payment like that, that your ID number and name are printed on the check somewhere, on the back or in the memo line on the check, so we make sure it goes on your account. And make sure that you send it express post so that you have a way to track it to make sure it gets here. If you're sending money from a bank that's not in Canada, the way to do that is using Western Union Global Pay. The instructions to do that are on our website. On the Waterloo website, click on Offices and Services, then click on Finance Student Accounts and Payment Options to find the instructions on how to send the Western Union transfer. You'll notice 2 big red X's over the other options. We do not accept payment by credit card, cash, debit, or Interac email transfer, and we do not offer installment payment plans. We only bill 1 term at a time, so that is your spreading out of your fees. Okay, I told you a little bit about what happens if you're not fees arranged. Once your promissory note or your payment in full has been received and processed, your registration status on the account summary page that you saw when you first logged into the finances section on Quest will say fees arranged. And you need to make sure that you are fees arranged. If you're not, of course, as I mentioned, you will not get your scholarships and bursaries. You will not have immediate access to your online learning on Learn, and you will not get your OSAP or your other provincial student loan funding sent directly to you. If you go into Quest, I mentioned on the account summary page that you can see your registration status. You'll notice that third column, that's your registration status, and that's what you need to see change from enroll request to fees arranged for the current term.